Hello, my friends. It is 7:08, and we're not just teleprompter-free television. We're so real, we're 8 minutes late getting on. It's 7:08 and 18 seconds. We are live. Some nights we're live. Most nights were taped. And we just taped a 2-hour-plus show again. I'm not complaining. We're dedicated to freedom. That's why. We did a 3-hour radio show today. Then the CBS News was here to interview me. And then I came in and shot the news. So the 3-hour radio show, 2 1-hour interviews, the nightly news shot before it, and another CBS interview. So we're crazy. We're out of control. And that's why I'm trying to hire more reporters, more video editors, more people. But then there's the money issue, because I'm too busy covering the news to try to even cut ads or accept advertisers. So it's a catch-22. I'm not complaining. We are kicking some New World Order butt. But we need your support now, spreading the word more than ever, buying the books, the videos, all of it. Because this is an all-out dash to the finish. I said months ago, they're going to rule in favor. Everybody's like, no, the Supreme Court's saying they're not going to. I said, that is a ruse to destroy political opposition. Just like Obama said he would veto the NDAA, and it turned out he had demanded it, or his controllers had, to secretly arrest citizens and do all this. And then he said, don't worry, I won't sign it to kill opposition. And then on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2011, signed it. It's a playbook. So I'm not smart. But, if you stick your finger in the light socket when you're 2 and it shocks the daylights out of you, you're like, you know what? Daddy's right. Mama's right. I don't want to stick my finger in that. So I've read the documents. I've researched these people. I found out about them 20-something years ago. I really woke up 17 years ago and continue to wake up since then. And they're killers. They're putting poison in the food, the water, the vaccines. They're enemies to everybody. They're totally insane. And we're insane to not wake up to them and resist them. So while Rob Dude tries to put together the 30 minutes of news and the 2 hours of interviews for you who are awesome and who we beg to get this information out to everybody so we have a future, I'll cover some news. We are going to announce tonight winners for the Infowars.com reporter contest. But there's a twist, and we'll cover it at that point. It's taken me 2 months and 2 days. Public school educated, 2 months, 2 days. 2 months, 2 days to watch the 600-plus admissions that even made the cut. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. We estimate of 1,000-plus entries, 600 that followed the rules, some, facsimile thereof. And so we will announce the winner tonight. Now, there's 2 winners, so does that give you the answer? I'll announce the winner tonight, but not the winners. Okay, it's coming up in the news, but I'll just tell you now, because I don't like to keep secrets. I don't really even plant hooks on radio and TV, as they call it. They're coming up. I just like to give you the meat up front. We're going to give you the female winner tonight, but not the male winner, because I on top of 6 hours of broadcast today, I sat there trying to decide, and I'm not normally an undecisive person. I just, especially with the male reporters, the main thing I'm thinking about, and I cover this later in the show we just taped, if you're watching us at, 7:12, till I'm very tired at this point. I got up at like 6 a.m. this morning. I should not be on air after 6+ hours on air at this point, but I am. 7:12 and 19 seconds. I am here, and we are going to give you that winner coming up. Then we'll give you the male winners as well. But look, we've gotten to this point. We've gotten to this key platform point to really launch, to get 3 or 4 more reporters, because even if you don't win, the top people are going to get a job offer. We just got to do some accounting and figure out what we can pay you and things like that. So we've got 4 or 5 reporters we want to hire out of this great pool of people. We got 2 people that are going to win $5,000 apiece, 1 male, 1 female. Because, look, I'm looking for somebody better than I am at this. In the final equation, I don't think that my you-know-what doesn't stink. I want to defeat the globalist. That's the goal. And so we want people to put them on radio, put them on TV. What will the reporter do? They will edit. They will go out and do interviews. They will host the nightly news if the reporter thinks they're up to doing that. It's not hard doing one show. It's hard doing 4 or 5. It's a long way to the top if you want to fight tyranny, is the point. Hotels, motels, makes you want to cry. It's a long way to the top, to quote AC/DC. The point is that the top here is not fame and fortune. It's liberty and freedom in our time. And this is teleprompter free. That's another thing about hiring reporters and saying fight tyranny and then seeing what they do. We had to look at what these people covered. What was their understanding? And it's pure torture, because I hate to sit here and even judge these people. They're all winners in my book. So we're going to be covering that coming up during the full report. Here is an article out of the Austin American-Statesman yesterday. I was getting gas and went inside the gas station and saw this, the old dinosaur media. What a rarity to actually see a printed publication. And I saw it, and I thought, you know what, I better cover this, because it's not just the big devilish Supreme Court ruling that the eugenicists, the globalists, will now control our health care with the IRS running it, but that Austin American-Statesman greenhouse gas limits upheld. And it goes on to say that Texas officials, on losing end of U.S. appeals court ruling, lambast panel's strongly worded opinion. So not only is the U.S. Supreme Court saying you've got to buy as a tax insurance from private offshore banks that own insurance companies. That was their announcement today. We're going to cover it coming up. But now Obama and his controllers can shut down power plants that General Electric and others don't own and increase your prices, as you've seen happened, and call it a greenhouse gas tax, when all this has been exposed as a fraud, and carbon dioxide and water vapors all these plants put off, now they're clean. That was reasonable environmental regulations. This is just going extra distance of fraud now. They put a catalytic converter on, makes sense. Don't dump toxic waste in the water, makes sense. Pay Al Gore and the UN money to breathe. We exhale carbon dioxide that plants breathe. Get rid of that. And a federal appeals court today upheld the first regulations ever aimed at reducing gases blamed on global warming, which they admit is a fraud and isn't happening, handing down perhaps the most significant decision on the issue since 2007 Supreme Court ruling that greenhouse gases could be controlled as air pollutants. Outside of Congress, Congress said no, the lawmaking authority, but the courts said, oh, the bureaucracy run by Bush was for this, by the way, and now Obama, because the banks want it. See, what the banks want, they get, because they're not free market, they're monopoly men. They want health care run by insurance companies, Obama and Romney support it. They want this, Bush and Obama support it. They want it, they got it. Because what was that clip we kept playing from CNBC a few days ago? Foreign banks run America through fraud and we're their slaves, but it's a good thing. It's not a long way to the top of your bankers. You just print up fake currency, get everybody in debt to it. You just sit there like a con artist. Everybody bows down to you, like money changers 2,000 years ago with Christ beating them, like Salente said 2 days ago with a bullwhip. But he's a terrorist, just like George Washington, FEMA teaches us. So we've got all of that news. The rules which have been challenged by industry groups, that is, power plants not owned by the banksters who are exempt, just like in healthcare. All of Obama's buddies are exempt. You got a hamburger place. In fact, let me show you a document cam shot of this. You got a hamburger place X that isn't owned by the globalist. And you know what? You're going to buy insurance company produced health care. So you're X, and you've got to buy it. So adding to the price of your hamburger, got a few sesame seeds on top of it, that's going to increase the price of your hamburger conservatively 20%. Now, you're in the equation Y, New World Order Company, and you make hamburgers. You don't have to do that, so you can have your hamburger at the same price with a free thing of fries. You think that's a fair deal? But wait. It gets better here. This doesn't just stop there. IRS set up in 1913, the same year they gave us the Federal Reserve. This weird thing written where nobody can understand it, so the elites are exempt. They write the loopholes. They're going to run this, and if you don't buy the health care they say, and they can change the rules under IRS however they want, always expanding it, then you get penalties and interest and money taken out of your account by the IRS. And they're the collection agency for the Fed. And they are the Rothschild El Banco. How does that sound? Yeah, sold secondhand. Conned, scammed, robbed. It's a long way to the bottom if you want to be gang raped by a bunch of foreign banks. And America does. America thinks everything's about entertainment, everything's about partying and all. The media told us, that guy's a bad guy. He says don't trust the system. Hell, everybody knows you trust the system. Sure, our founders said don't do it, but they can go to hell. 4% of the population had half the world's wealth. That's all stopping now. You take the liberty out, the oxygen leaves the room. And don't worry, once they've bankrupted everything and imploded it, the Bilderbergs do plan to take over the libertarians and sell an idea of now they're not going to be taxed as we run around in loincloths like zombies eating each other. Yeah, hotels, motels, makes you want to cry. It's a long way to the top if you want to be a globalist slave. I mean, you got to be really stupid, really gullible, and work hard to be gang raped by foreign banks. And you know what? America's like, hey, we're free because there's an eagle there on the side of the government building, and so foreign banks run us. If you're a new viewer and you're like, what do you mean they said foreign banks run America? Oh, you didn't hear? They're on CNBC. So we're slaves to foreign banks, but thank God they're there to run us. Yeah, freedom wasn't such a good idea. I agree. Foreign banks run us. How about you? Oh, yeah, I really hate freedom. Foreign banks run us. We are slaves, but hell, what else are we going to do? You know, that's the way to do it. And I came out and said, you know, oh, it is a tax to insurance companies owned by banks. Yeah. 35 million schmucks. Here we go. 35 mil. Not the illegal aliens that get free health care. Known as shuckers, known as marks, known as minions, known as whatever you want to call them. 35 mil. And, you know, I instinctively did an 8 there, which on its side is infinity. Because the raping here is infinity. Because you got these lawless crooks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're coming in. So there you go. Thank goodness Al Gore is going to protect us from what we exhale. GMO isn't a problem. Toxic waste dumping, overfishing, none of that's a problem. Anything the bankers are doing, no problem. What you're exhaling, oh, we got a problem. That energy you're buying, we got a problem. We're going to sell you less for more, and you're going to love it because you're trendy, which means I like being gang raped. Well, not me. I see through all of this, which isn't hard to do. That's what's frustrating, and I'm against it. So now, how long is this transmission due? So I guess I went shorter than I thought. We had 2 interviews and the news. This is only an hour and 15 minutes, so I was wrong when I said over 2 hours. When I did the show before Aaron on Tuesday night, it was 2 hours and 49 minutes. So we're off an hour. We apologize, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, the teleprompters aren't loading quick enough tonight, so I'm unable to talk here. Hotels, motels, makes you want to cry. Let's go ahead and go. That song is stuck in my head. You know, I've sung that song with Dave Mustaine driving down the highway. Does that make me trendy? It looks like I'm on a ship. Is that leaning? Is that an optical illusion, or is that the TV set that's leaning over there, that monitor? Yeah, no, the monitor's like over there, so I'll see that. Okay, that's it. Here it comes, the winners, everything. Straight ahead. PrisonPlanet.tv, free 15-day free trial. For God's sakes, get in there and buy something so I can hire all these reporters. Oh, man, I could really unleash these liberty lovers, but it's all up to you. planetinfowars.com as well. Great job of the crew. Here is the transmission. Interview me. And then I came in and shot the news. So the 3-hour radio show, 2 one-hour interviews, the nightly news shot before it, and another CBS interview. So we're crazy, we're out of control, and that's why I'm trying to hire more reporters, more video editors, more people. But then there's the money issue, because I'm too busy covering the news to try to even cut ads or accept advertisers. So it's a catch-22. Hello, my friends. It is 7:08, and I'm not complaining. We are kicking some New World Order butt. But we need your support now, spreading the word more than ever, buying the books, the videos, all of it, because this is an all-out dash to the finish. I said months ago, they're going to rule in favor. Everybody's like, no, the Supreme Court's saying they're not going to. I said, that is a ruse to destroy political opposition. Just like Obama said he would veto the NDAA, and it turned out he had demanded it, or his controllers had, to secretly arrest just teleprompter-free television. We're so real, we're 8 minutes late getting on. It's 7:08 and 18 seconds. We are live. Some nights we're live. Most nights we're taped. And we just taped a 2-hour-plus show again. I'm not complaining. We're dedicated to freedom. That's why. We did a 3-hour radio show today. Then the CBS News was here to citizens and do all this. And then he said, oh, don't worry, I won't sign it to kill opposition. And then on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2011, signed it. It's a playbook. So I'm not smart. But, if you stick your finger in the light socket when you're 2 and it shocks the daylights out of you, you're like, you know what? Daddy's right. Mama's right. I don't want to stick my finger in that. So I've read the documents. I've researched these people. I found out about them 20-something years ago. I really woke up.